Welcome to Deep Thought. Change your thinking, change your life. And that's the thing. And, I was focused on thinking this week, but, my overall thing, the whole point of Deep Thought is to think, not to give you a spiritual path. I know some people might see that, and, or give you a specific philosophy. It's just to think. Just think. I don't care how you worship Supreme Being. I don't care what your philosophy is, provided your philosophy don't include like hurting another human being on a malicious basis. I do have an issue with that. As long as it touches your life, it doesn't impede somebody else's life. That's the only thing I would say. That's the only restriction I would put on what someone believes. Seriously, I don't have to agree with it, but if it worked for you, boom. But, the thing is, your thinking is powerful. Like this week I talked about, like no matter what your outer form is, it's affected by how you think. If you want to change in your life, you got to change your thinking. Seriously. And I talked about this before, and I talked about it either here or on my business channel. Like you got some people out here, they got two different consciousnesses when regard to money. You got people with a poverty consciousness and a wealth consciousness, And a lot of times when people are having trouble making money, getting out of the situation they in a poverty consciousness. Or when they dealing with people for relationships, they got a consciousness of lack, of scarcity. They say, well, they either or low self-esteem, their consciousness say, well, nobody would want me. I'm too short, or I'm not pretty enough. The women say that. Unfortunately, we got some men who say that, but that's another conversation. I'm not handsome enough though for the other guys. All this stuff. I don't have enough money. And that's a consciousness of lack. The person with a consciousness of abundance, they would just focus on the things they have going for them, and they will say, well, there isn't a scarcity of mates. There's too many mates. I don't have shoot, because that's my attitude. I was like, dang, how do I manage all these possibilities? But that's my consciousness. And I'm going to tell you what, this is how powerful thought is. And I said this last week, or a couple weeks ago. I've said it before. A single thought can change everything. If somebody, at a single moment, if somebody just say, you know what, I'm tired of this bull. When you get tired and say, look, I'm going in a different direction, it opens it up right there. Like a single thought can create like a whole universe. Literally, that's how powerful it is. But if you're going through life, you having problems, the first thing you got to start is changing your thoughts. See, I'm going to tell you what. Now, people know me for my relationship books, right? People know me for that, and people know me for body game and everything. But the real secret, the real key to all of my stuff is to change how people think. I remember when my book first came out in the early aughts, right? Early 2000 and stuff. And I remember somebody read it and they said, you know what? That's because I was at a book group, one of those book groups where, a bunch of people read the books and they come and discuss it, and they had me come in as the author. And one of the guys that read said, the thing I got out of it is to make you think. And I was like, that's it. That's it. Because that's my whole point, to make you think. Indeed, some people have gotten stuff out of my fiction book stories. Because my whole thing is entertainment and edutainment. Edutainment. Educating somebody. So I'm not just, when I write fiction, I'm not just writing, I'm getting people to think. Like, change how they look at something. And I peeped that, like the very first piece I wrote was called The Perfect Man. And it was about a guy who was presenting himself as perfect to two different women. And I remember several women who read it say, hey, Ron, your story really made me think about some things I've been doing. I was like, okay. But that's the key. You got to change how you think. And that's the beauty of it. Because it's two things with changing how you think. Two very important things. One, it takes only 1 second, less than a second to change it. You don't have to think about it. Just change it. Just say, you know what? I'm going in a different direction. Everything open up at that moment. And then the second thing, the most important thing is you got total control over it. Somebody outside of you cannot control that. I don't care what they got. They can have you in a prison, locked up. They can have you in an abusive relationship. You can be stuck in a bad job. You can be in a bad neighborhood. Nobody, not even Supreme Being messes with your ability to make a choice, to think, to have that single thought. And if you change that, if you don't like where you're going in life, you got to change how you think about shit. Excuse my Francais. And no insult to people who actually speak French. I know y'all curse more creatively. But think about it. Think about it. Nobody can control that. And that's all you have to do. Because I'm going to tell you what, I've seen a lot of people and they just going through some stuff. And I'm just like, and I try to get them just to think differently. Because they stuck. They say, well, I'm this and I'm that. Just think about just think differently. That's all you have to do. It opens it up automatically and just commit to that thought. That's it. I've never seen it to fail. I've never seen that to fail. I've never seen somebody change their thinking and they just kept going on the negative path they were on. Every single time somebody's changed their thinking. I mean, and when I say change it, I mean it would even change how they looked. Let me say that again. That would change how they look. It's like their body changed up. It was like you be looking at somebody. You ever seen somebody and they just started doing things differently, and you could pick it up on it. It's like their voices sound different, their body posture, even their body. It was like all of a sudden it's like, damn, your body changed. Seriously, that's how powerful it is. You can change your life. Everybody had that power, but you got responsibility for it. You got to take responsibility. Nobody else can do it for you. No one can do it for you. And the reason, seriously, and they can't do it for you because it's your thought. Only you control how you think. They can try to implant thoughts. And you got plenty of people who follow other people. But even the people who follow the thoughts of somebody else playing in, they still got a choice. And they can still say, you know what, I ain't doing this anymore. Seriously. You can open up everything. Now, I've said this before. Y'all listening to this podcast because I made a choice to focus on making my money as a writer. Yeah, and seriously. And it changed everything. I've talked about this before. I got 2 beautiful sons, growing sons, who eating me out of house and home. Good Lord. But I love every second of it. But it wouldn't exist if I didn't have that thought of doing what I do, and with a great mother. They got a great mother, and great. And she's actually, even though we just co-parents now, she's very extremely supportive of me in ways I don't really go into in public. And people would be surprised if I said who it was. But and I got great friends. I have control in my life, all because of a single thought back in 92. One single thought. So, you just got to, seriously, if you want to change, if you don't like how stuff is going in your life, just change how you think. That's it. Just have that thought like, you know what, I'm going to change it. And commit to it. That's all you have to do. Just put the thought out there, everything, and take care of itself. And I don't care what position you're in. I don't care how low your self-esteem is. Once you make that choice, trust me, everything open up for you. Change your thinking. Change your life. Think on this. Y'all have a great weekend. Peace and many blessings.